If you're planning to visit Australia or move to Australia permanently, there are a few things I think you should keep in mind. These are the things that I'm particularly not very fond of about Australia or maybe about Adelaide. So I'm going to do this video about the things that I'm not too happy about. The first is the location of the country. So Australia is really cut off from the rest part of the world. So if you at all need to plan a travel to any other country, you really have to plan well in advance, because the travel duration is quite long compared to many other countries, and obviously because there'll be longer flights, so the flight tickets are also very expensive, especially if you're coming from a country which is as far off as the country that I come from, which is India. I think the maximum that you can think of traveling is probably once or twice in a year. So I think that is a big downside about the location of Australia in particular. Next, that I am not very happy about, or I may say I'm a little annoyed about, is the immigration process of this country. Especially having worked with a migration agent and have observed so many cases closely, and also of a lot of people that I know of personally. The immigration process is very annoying in the sense that you just don't know the reasons why. Few times the cases which are very tricky sail through in no time. Few cases which are very smooth and easy, they take a lot of time. I've known a lot of people who got married and they filed an application for migration, and they finally get the visa when they've got a child, and probably the child is like 2-year-old or something like that. So one, the timelines are very annoying. Second is the uncertainty in the process is very annoying. So that's something that I am just not particularly fond of about this country. Next, that I don't like about Australia is their process of giving driving license. So if at all you're coming on a visa category which lets you drive in your own country's license, great. But I think there should be a timeline within which you need to get Australian license. And in case you do not have a license, or if the license that you have of that country cannot be converted into an Australian license through means of some written and practical test, then you have to start the getting the license process from scratch. And that is a bit tedious and a painful process. You have different kinds of plates that you get. So you may get an L plate and you may get a P plate, and then that's when you finally get a permanent license. And they're for very longer duration, so you have to probably be on a certain plate for say 2 years, and that's only when you move on to the next level. So I think it is a very time consuming process, also because the rules are so different. So even if somebody has driven for a decade or over a decade in their own country, the chances of them clearing the practical test here in one go is little dim. A lot of people have to reappear a few times before they get the driving license. The daycares are very expensive here. So if your child is less than a 5-year-old and not eligible to go to school, and you working full time, you obviously would want to put them in a daycare. And the daycares are very expensive to an extent of roughly $110 a day. And for a small family like a family of mine, I think I get groceries for that kind of an amount for an entire week. So one day daycare's fee is equivalent to a week's of grocery. So I think that's pretty expensive. If you're looking to get a rental property, you obviously have to check out different houses and go for different house inspections. And those house inspections are usually done over the weekdays. So very rarely you would have a house inspection on a weekend. So if you're working full time, it is a little difficult to attend those house inspections. Also, the house inspections are usually done at a very odd time, so the house inspections that I witnessed, they were never early in the morning, so you could attend those house inspections and go for work. They're usually around lunchtime or around 4 p.m. or around 11 a.m. So I think the timing and the considering that it is only done on weekdays, I think it is something which is not very great. And if it could be done on the weekends, I think it could be much better. If finally you've managed to get a rental accommodation here through different property consultants or brokers, the landlords of those houses have those same property consultants inspect the condition of the house every 3 months. So every 3 months the same property agents would come, take a look at the house and understand if you've kept the house in a good condition or not. I've been very lucky, so my broker has been very nice. I've had 2 inspections so far, and both times they came when I was not there. They inspected the house and they left a nice thank you note. A thank you note means that it's all good. but a lot of people that I have heard, either they've not kept the houses well, or the brokers are a bit more difficult. They write a big list of the things that they could not, they were not happy about. For example, there were mold developments, or that the exhaust area was not clean and things like that. Somebody else coming to inspect the house and give you a result is I think a bit annoying, because you do not really have a lot of grocery delivery options here. You actually have to go and pick up, and in case they do give an option to deliver groceries at home, they usually do charge a bit over and above. So that is little different, and I am I thought it could be better if it was a free delivery option even here, as it is there in my country. Fries are much bigger in size than I had seen, and those fries are really, really clingy. So if they've come to you, they would stay with you for a very long time. If you're going somewhere, they will follow you up till the tram station or the bus station, so they don't really leave you. Also, one incident that I had with a bird was little frightening. So I think I'm not very fond of the birds of this country. They have something to do with the hair color that we Indians have, maybe. And the bird I was just standing next to a park, and I think the bird got confused with my hair to be its nest, or I don't know what was it. It came flying and hit my head and then went past by. So since then I've been very scared of birds. So I don't know, and I got to know that there are some seasons, probably the seasons when they're giving birth and stuff, they are a little aggressive. So that's another thing that I'm not very happy about. Medicare facility given by the government or a private insurance, you may still have to pay for dental treatments that you get done here, and the dental treatments are very expensive. It's actually said that a lot of people who move to this country are warned that let any of your body parts get distorted, but keep your teeth in place, because if anything needs to be done to it, it'll really cost you a bomb. And also similar related to medical field is the ambulance service. So the ambulance service is also very expensive. The Medicare may cover the emergency, the private insurance may cover the the emergency ambulance service. But if at all there are certain cases which are not considered as emergency, but you may still need an ambulance, and if you have to hire an ambulance on your own, they're very, very expensive. Next, most of the rental houses that I know of do not allow you to keep pets at home. And there are few cases where you have to take special permission, and if the landlord is okay, it's all right. But most of the rental people that I have met and interacted with do crib about this, that they cannot keep pets in their houses. Generally, the units or the houses here usually are much smaller in size than what I have seen, or than what is there in India. Especially, and also so suppose if you have a 2-bedroom unit, the one would be a bigger bedroom, which is called as a master bedroom. That is also much smaller than what I have seen, and the other bedroom is so tiny, you put one single bed and most likely that is it, nothing else can go in. So though you may actually be thinking you're getting a 2-bedroom unit, but the other bedroom is pretty much good for nothing. In case in the initial few days you may have to take shared accommodation here, one thing which you would find very astonishing is that there are very less number of bathrooms here. So what I'm used to is that if you've got a 3-bedroom house, if not 3, you would at least have 2 bathrooms and toilets in it. But here you may have a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house, and you may just have 1 toilet or bathroom. So if you're coming with a big family, I think that could could feel like an inconvenience in the initial few days. Having a swimming pool in your house is not that a big deal here. So a lot of times if you're looking for rental houses or to buy houses, you may have swimming pool as a part of the house. So that may sound very attractive, but if you get into the nitty-gritties and understand the expense and the effort that is required to upkeep or maintain that swimming pool, it is quite high. The equipments which does the cleaning of the pools, they obviously run on electricity and stuff, and your utility bills will go up, and it basically takes a lot of time and energy. So you may want to reconsider, understand all the aspects before you get into a house which has a swimming pool. The companies here pretty much have a very flat tier in or hierarchy structure in their organizations. So it is little difficult for you to go up the ladder or get promoted or move on to the next designation in a short time, because the next designation is probably a designation which is like 3-4 levels further up than what we are used to. So that could be little unsatisfactory, that how much ever good you must be doing in your work, you may not get promoted the next year. Continuing with the companies and the organizational policies here, one policy that I'm not very happy about is that not all companies here have an annual appraisal. So even if you complete a year with them, not all companies here will increase your salary. We've already talked about the fact that you may not get promoted to the next level. Also, there is no promotion in your salary. So that's one thing I was not very happy about. If you are a person who likes to decorate the house with fresh plants and fresh flowers, you will have a surprise here, because the fresh plants and fresh flowers are way too expensive. It is much cheaper to have artificial flowers and plants in your house, but fresh plants are very, very expensive. So keep that in mind. That is why there are a lot of people who actually do their own gardening from the ground level, because buying a plant is very expensive. In one of my videos, I've already mentioned and shared that most of the activities that are done related to the house here are done on your own. So you have to, you should be capable enough to do basic carpentry work or basic plumbing or electric work, because if you are not, and if you need to hire somebody, that may cost quite a bit, especially cost much more than what you are used to. And or if probably you want to have somebody to come and clean your house or babysit your child or anything which involves human labor, it is very, very expensive. So you might want to consider that. The rooms and the bathrooms here do not have locks. I think the newly constructed houses have started putting it now, but usually there is no culture of having locks in the bathrooms or bedrooms. Houses here have smoke alarms. That's a part of the house. And in few cases that smoke alarm can become annoying, like it is in my case, because the smoke alarm is just next to the gas stove on the ceiling. So as it is, the distance between the gas stove and the alarm is not too much. So any basic thing that I cook which brings just a bit of fumes, the alarm goes off. So that's a little annoying. There are a lot of places which has parking free, but the places which do not have parking free, for which you need to pay, parking is quite an expensive affair here. So parking fee is quite huge, much more than what you have experienced in your own country. Most of us know that the prominent shops or stores here close down at 5 p.m. So that could be one of the annoying things about this country, because if you think of buying groceries or just normal shopping after work or after office, you can't do that. The shops would also close by then. You fitness freaks, you would have a challenge hiring a personal trainer here, because personal trainers are very expensive. For example, how much I pay for my gym's membership fee for fortnight, I have to double that amount is how much I will have to pay for my personal trainer for an hour. It's quite expensive, and that could be counted as a downside about this country. If you are a newbie in the country and you do not really know a lot of people here, it is little difficult to make friends here. So you will have colleagues with whom you will have good rapport and everything, but people here usually take a lot of time before they get you into their circle and make friends. So be prepared that you may have to be on your own or with your family for many months when you migrate. Next is, I hope you don't have to go through that, which I have gone through twice and nearly escaped the third time, is paying a driving fine. The driving fines are huge. It is the two fines that I paid, they were almost 1/3 of my salary. So they're really huge. You really want to stay away from them. Alright, that's all the things that I don't like about Australia or Adelaide. If there are more things that you know of, put that down as a comment so that we increase the awareness of the people here. And in case you want to continue watching videos like this, you may want to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.